things we love about Germany.
As you might know, we are currently living here in Düsseldorf, Germany. I'm from Germany and Diana is from the United States, and both of us have kind of a bit of a background in a nomadic lifestyle, meaning we moved around a lot. Germany has its ups and downs, and in our last video we talked about the things that we dislike about Germany, upsetting basically every German in one way or the other. And yet we decided to live here. So
Wow.
To make amends and to ask for peace, here are 6 major things that we absolutely love about living in Germany.
City layout. I'm from the USA, where a majority of the country is car dependent. From getting to your job to getting groceries, everything is so spread out and a vehicle is necessary. Of course, unless you're in New York City or living downtown in a city. Okay, I love that here in Germany, one can live in a big city or a small, medium-sized town and not need a car. The city layouts in Germany are made for people to live in, not live around. There will be residential mixed with commercial, and you have apartments within a 10-minute walk to supermarkets, doctors' offices, schools, convenience stores, restaurants, bakeries, you name it. Even in the small town we lived in when I first moved to Germany with a population of like 10,000, I could walk to cafes, supermarkets, doctors' offices, and I did not need a car. And that goes for a lot of places in Europe, but that's the life I really value a lot.
It's actually possible and very freeing to not own a car. For example, most people living in Berlin do not own a car, and a lot of them never even apply for like a driver's license. And aside from the walkability, there's plenty of public transportation to get you anywhere in the city, and not going everywhere by car makes life, in my opinion, more social, more personal, and so much more enjoyable, which kind of leads me into my next point. Comfort. Germany makes life super comfortable. And yes, comfort is, in my opinion, kind of a double-edged sword.
Double-edged sword.
Because too much comfort can kill any kind of progress. But let's focus on the positives. Apartments and houses are for the most part very high quality, like built out of brick, which means comparably good soundproofing and insulation. Then most people have all the amenities and modern devices in like kitchen, washing areas, they have bathtubs, entertainment systems. Oh, and let's not forget the huge beds with multiple blankets and blackout blinds built in the house on the outside. So being home in general is really, really comfortable in Germany. And another thing that adds to that comfort is safety and security. Like Germany is a super safe place, and most of the time any girl can stroll like alone and lost through any city at 4 a.m. in the morning without any danger, because there are barely any dangerous areas or neighborhoods in the entire country. Most of the time.
Most of the time.
There's also added security in the form of like health insurance, so any form of concern regarding the financial aspect of needing medical treatment is simply not a thing here. Job security is also pretty high as well. In most academic jobs, you go through a trial period of 3 months, and afterwards you can basically not get fired anymore unless you do some illegal or really stupid things. And that's pretty nice to have. And want to have a baby? Yeah, what about taking 2 years off of your job, still get paid, and then afterwards return to your job as if you've never left?
Maternity leave, he means.
Maternity leave, yeah. Oh, and then people also don't carry weapons. So I think all of that overall makes for a very comfortable situation, but maybe too comfortable.
I completely agree, the comfort. The only thing missing though is the air conditioning.
Yeah.
Since a lot of buildings are older and they aren't built for AC units, we finally got a aircon this year, because last year we just could not sleep when it was 30+ degrees outside at night.
For the 2 weeks of summer.
We were dying. Learning about and visiting new places. I am constantly seeing and learning about something new here in Germany, and I absolutely love that. I have a goal of visiting all 16 German states. I've been to 11 states so far, and I've thoroughly enjoyed visiting and learning about each city, the regions, the history, the culture, along with the subculture of every area. And yes, not all of Germany is the same. There's more to Germany than just Bavaria and Berlin. For example, we just went on a hike recently to the Eifel National Park area and around a former Nazi training facility, and it was really interesting to read up and go through different parts while just hiking around a scenic area as well. Or take a train not too far to Kaiserswerth, where there's like historic ruins. There are just so many interesting places within an arm's reach. And
like history and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe I'm able to better see this as a foreigner who didn't grow up here in Germany, and I'm not too desensitized to a lot of these areas, and I'm still very curious and wanting to see other parts of this country.
Yeah, but I'm also discovering it with her, through her, so yeah, it's good for me too.
It's good for you.
Cost of living. Cost of living. Ah, the cost of living. Germans love to complain about how expensive everything is. But the basic cost of living in Germany is fairly low compared to other first world countries. And yes, I am a victim of this behavior too. So, for example, Germany has some of the lowest grocery prices while earning comparably high amounts of money, like per capita, you know? And that basically results in very good purchasing power, at least for basic goods.
Within Germany.
Yeah. And while rental prices are getting ridiculously high for German standards, they are still very affordable if compared to countries like Australia, Canada, or the US. For example, for the price we pay for a 3-room apartment in prime location in Düsseldorf, one of Germany's nicer cities, we could only rent like half of a 200 square foot apartment in New York City, or like a rundown small 1-bedroom apartment in Charlotte, North Carolina. And then medication at pharmacies, for example, is mostly covered by health insurance as well, and everything that is over the counter is still subsidized. So you barely ever pay more than like a 1-digit euro amount for basic pharmaceuticals like painkillers, sleeping pills, bandages, weird ointments, or whatever you need. And yeah, another thing, like parking fees are just a fraction of what they cost in the United States. And food-wise, there's often kind of cheap takeout options as well for like quick food and quick bites as well, snacks. The bottom line is living, eating, and health is like very affordable. I mean, look at us, we're the best example. We make very little money, but we live a pretty decent life in a very good location. And we do love our Patreons as well, who make all of this possible for us. So if you haven't checked it out, we make additional videos over on patreon.com/DEANA'S, and we wanted to give a shout out to the following lovely people. Big shout out to our soulmate level Patreons, Ricky, Laura and Jared, the 2 restless retirees, Roger Lübke, Robin, Stein and Gary Day.
Thank you. Kaffee und Kuchen Kultur. If you've watched our videos, I know I sound like a broken record, but I really enjoy the coffee and cake culture here in Germany. I came from the US, where the coffee culture is either grab and go, drive through in your car, or just coffee is associated with working life. Either you're at Starbucks with a super productive side hustle life, or you're in a corporate office in a coffee break room. Here in Germany, however, I absolutely love that cafes and bakeries are everywhere, and it is encouraged to just sit down and enjoy a nice cup of coffee or a cappuccino. And there is almost always some type of cake of the day to choose from, which I love. To me, it's a nice, relaxing reminder to enjoy the day. Even if you're just going with your friends or family, it's common to have people over and just enjoy some coffee and cake together, you know, some time. Spend some quality time together. You don't always have to have coffee and cake though. Sometimes it's tea and like, I don't know, carrot sticks or something healthy. Maybe I'm just getting older and wiser, but living in the present has become more important to me, and I really like doing activities like this where it just makes you happy.
So maybe there is a little bit of culture in Germany.
There is.
Germany's geographical location. Okay, so I love and I hate this one, since further south would mean better weather. But I think that Germany's geographical location is pretty great, considered like from a global scale. It is located basically right in the center of Europe, which makes so many countries accessible very easily. Like, just think about it. Germany has 9 neighboring countries and also 2 seas. that are basically all in like driving distance. And behind those countries, everything else is just either a short flight away. So it's a great place to travel around Europe from. And extending that view even further, it is also a major airport hub from the Americas to Asia, meaning for us that countries like the US or Thailand are very accessible through admittedly long but direct flights, which is nice.
Yeah.
And at this point, I also want to quickly include the European Union. And I love that Germany is part of the EU, and I think it is a great concept because it means there are basically no borders anymore, which makes visiting or finding jobs or moving and starting a life in any of the EU countries just super easy.
Since we moved to Germany right before the pandemic, we really didn't get to travel as much for 2 years, and I'm so excited to see more regions of Germany and other surrounding countries and areas.
Yeah, so geographically, decent location.
Very nice.
So those were 6 things that we love about Germany and living in Germany.
Yeah, what do you love about Germany or the country that you live in? Let us know. We'd love to hear about it. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Peace and love.
Love.
Love, love.
Love.
Much love.
Mwah. Mwah. Nick, the tip.
This is all for fun
Kiss.
and entertainment.